Hi, I'm Albina Tejada.
And I'm Edward Marler.
And this is our outstanding program. What we're doing today is a little background on the company. It's B&E Material Handling. It's a local manufacturer of intermediate bulk containers and custom engineered power handling process equipment systems that contain blend and feed powder processes. Our company allows our customers to depend on professional guidance throughout their project, from concept and design to installation by our technicians. After installation, our technicians are available for upgrades, periodic maintenance, service, and spare parts. Now, just a brief description of our system vision is that web quoting has changed drastically since our company came together. The customers are more tech savvy and are interested in having everything at their fingertips as soon as possible. Customers require a way to get their quotes quickly and accurately without having to have multiple transactions. The new system is needed to have the potential customers be able to get their quotes immediately.
When it comes to the use cases for this project, we chose 5 that kind of focus on what we were looking at. Our first was entering contact information for the customer. This is where the customer is going to create their customer account. They're going to enter their email address, their phone numbers, just their general contact information. That way, if they go into the process of actually ordering from our business, that we have access to that information that they've provided for us, just for ease of use. The next use case would be entering specifications. Again, this is where the customer enters the specifications on what piece of equipment or machinery that they're looking to get. As stated earlier, we create custom equipment basically for pharmaceutical manufacturing and for food processing, like large mixing vats, delumpers, pill presses, stuff like that. And this is just where the customer can enter the dimensions of the device they're needing, the size, the weight, in terms of the mixing vat, the volume capacity. Once that is done, they can go on into the quote process. Following the quote process, then we have the next use case, enter payment plan, and this is where the customer would choose to either use check or credit to pay for their purchase. And then of course the last 2 use cases being update and cancel their order. They can go back in themselves, or they can call us and have one of our sales representatives go in on their behalf and make updates to an order that they've placed, or to even delete that order or cancel that order if they need to. What you see on the screen here is our domain model class diagram. As you can see, it focuses on the order. Starting from the left, we have order history that is attached to the customer. They can look up their order history from their last few orders, what the remaining balances was on those, or what they paid on those. Of course, customer, everything there, customer ID, first name, last name, phone, email address, city, state, and zip. That's part of the first use case. Entering contact information, that would be what they would provide to us. It's linked to the order table through an associated table payment, because there can be many orders to a customer and many customers who have many orders. So we use the associated table here, payment, that just shows the billing ID, the order ID itself, the customer that order is associated with, and then the description of that order, the date the order was made, and the remaining balance on that order. And from that payment table, we can also generate a payment report. This is useful for a billing department or a finance department, because they can recall customers and orders and see what remaining balances are for further billing or to track total revenues. With the order, we have the order ID, the order description, the order date and price, as well as the employee ID, that is the sales representative that is assisting the customer making this order. The customer ID and the inv ID, which attaches there to the bottom right on the inventory table. The inventory table is, just obviously that. It's a list of everything we have in our inventory. If a customer is not getting a custom order, if they're buying something that we regularly produce, and then that's where this inventory table comes into play. Custom items are also in our inventory table, but they're a separate part of the table. They're custom, so they're not always going to be in our general inventory. Looking more to the right with the employee table, it again it's just general information about the employee, or in this case a sales representative that is helping a customer process an order. Has the employee ID, their first name, last name, email, phone, and job type, being sales representative or just like a manager, along those lines. It connects to the user info table, and this is just tracking employee logins. It just holds their username, their user type. Are they an administrator on the network? Are they a sales representative that's just got normal permissions? When's the last time they logged in? Also connected to employee is view quote. They can look up quotes that they've sent back to customers on specific items, and they can check the quote status. The employee ID there is just to show what employee registered the quote, and the status there is just in terms of what has the quote been accepted, has it been denied, that sort of thing, and that of course connects to the quote table itself.
All right, in this next piece you see the use case description for the update order. Self-explanatory. They want to update an order that they had already put through. So this is going to allow the customer to re-enter specifications and update basic information for the order, like dimensions, materials, price constraints, any other possible changes that can be made. This is going to include the confirm order, because it's the confirm order use case, because it's going to need to reconfirm after the specifications and so forth have been entered. Of course, the actors are going to be the customers and the sales rep that are on the customer's behalf, and the stakeholders are the sales, billing, and marketing departments. Preconditions: there must be an order associated with customer ID in order for them to update it. And post conditions: the customer has to confirm the changes and accept the order for the changes to be accepted by the system. Essentially, as far as the flow of activities, the customer needs to make the change, logs into the customer support system, they choose an order, and then update it. The customer makes the changes, confirms the changes, and reconfirms the order. On the system end, the processes the logon ID and checks for any current or outstanding orders tied to the account. If the order is found, the system asks the order to choose the order to update, and then the system validates the information and sends over the confirmation. As far as exceptions, any data input into the system forms must be in the same format that it was originally, as far as the enter specifications.
All right, next little item we're looking at here. This is the SSD for the update order. Basically, a user goes through the quote handler. This again is from the user that's gotten the quote, and they're accepting it. They've made their order and it goes to the order list, and then the order item is just simply that inventory item that's going to be attached to that order, and it's going to update the form as what is on the order, and that's just going to flow back to the user with a confirmation saying, yes, the order's been updated, this is what's been updated on it. Following that, this here is the use case realization. Again, the user wants to enter their update information, and that information's put through the handler and sent to the database to be updated, and it just simply sends back a confirmation to the user.
And now what you see here is just a sample of a couple of the reports. The first one is a report that gives us anything less than $10,000. This is just purely for sales promotions and so forth. Anybody that's paying less than $10,000, we can target and promote more things to them as far as making more profit. The second report that we have is to pull up all the custom orders and how much those custom orders cost. Again, looking for profit, but also to make sure that our business can handle all the custom orders that are being made at any time.
Works. We start here with a simple logon form. User would enter their username and password and click the login button. It would take the user to our main menu screen here where they could choose to update their order, and it would bring them to this screen that would show a list of available orders that they can update. If they needed to go back, they could simply click go back and it would send the user back to the main menu. But in terms of actually updating the order, they just make the changes in the fields and click Save Changes. Then they would get this message here saying that the order had been successfully updated and notifying them that any changes to their account balance or any refunds that might be available to them if they had overpaid would be available the next couple of business days. And then they'd simply click this return to main menu and it would bring them back to return to main menu. And if they were done, then they'd just log out, which would kick them back to the login screen, and they could exit the system altogether by clicking the exit system.